It started on a night so cold that even the stars looked frozen. A man in a torn jacket pushed his way through the snow, his boots crunching in the silence of a forgotten road. His name was Jake Carter, a single father barely keeping his life together after losing his wife to illness and his job to bad luck. He wasn't looking for a miracle that night. In fact, he didn't believe in them anymore. But fate had other plans. Jake was driving home from a late shift at the mechanic's shop when he saw her, a young girl, maybe 16 or 17, sitting on the edge of the road, shivering, clutching her swollen belly. Her eyes were red from crying, her hands raw from the cold. Without thinking, Jake pulled over. "You okay?" he asked, his voice gentle but uncertain. The girl looked up, terrified, like a stray animal expecting to be kicked away. "Please," she whispered, "I have nowhere to go." Jake hesitated. He barely had enough food for himself and his little daughter, Emily, but something in her trembling voice broke through his tired heart. He opened the truck door and said softly, "Come on, kid. Let's get you warm." That night, Jake gave up his own bed for the girl. She said her name was Lily. Her parents had thrown her out when she got pregnant. She had walked for hours hoping someone would help. As she sipped the soup Jake made, she kept apologizing for being a burden. Jake shook his head. "You're safe now," he told her, though he wasn't sure how he'd manage another mouth to feed. But for the first time in a long time, his small house felt a little less lonely. Days turned into weeks. Lily helped around the house, cooking, cleaning, even reading stories to little Emily before bed. Despite her own pain, she smiled more often than she cried. Jake saw something in her, strength born from heartbreak, hope built from ruins. He became like a father figure to her, guiding her through doctor's visits, reassuring her that she wasn't alone anymore. In return, she brought warmth back into their home, laughter into Emily's nights, and a sense of family Jake thought he'd lost forever. When Lily went into labor, Jake was there every second. He held her hand as she screamed, prayed as the doctors worked, and wept when the baby boy finally cried. "You did it," Jake whispered, tears streaming down his face. Lily looked at the tiny life she had brought into the world and whispered, "We did it." They named the baby Noah, because, Lily said, "He's my second chance." From that moment, they weren't just three broken people trying to survive. They were a family, bound by love, not blood. Years passed. Jake's little auto shop grew. With Lily's help, they turned it into a full repair business, Carter and Lily's Mechanics. Lily managed the customers while Jake fixed the engines. She was smart, determined, and loyal, everything Jake could have hoped for in a daughter he never had. Emily adored her, calling her, "Mommy Lily," without even thinking about it. And though life was still hard, their laughter filled the house that had once been cold and silent. But fate wasn't done testing them. One stormy evening, Jake collapsed in the garage. The doctors said it was his heart. Years of stress and exhaustion had caught up. Lily refused to leave his side, sleeping in a chair next to his hospital bed. The business, the bills, the family, she took it all on her shoulders. And as Jake slowly recovered, he realized something: the girl he once saved had now saved him. "You gave me back my life, Lily," he whispered one morning. "No," she smiled, squeezing his hand, "you gave me mine first." A few years later, Jake watched with pride as Lily, now a strong young woman, stood on a stage receiving an award for community service. She had started a foundation to help homeless pregnant teens, because she remembered what it felt like to be alone in the cold. Reporters asked about her inspiration, and she pointed to the man sitting in the front row, tears glistening in his eyes. "That's Jake Carter," she said. "He found me when the world left me to die. He gave me a home, love, and a reason to believe again. Everything I am today, I owe to him." The crowd stood, applauding, but Jake just smiled, his heart full. He didn't care about the spotlight or the praise. Seeing Lily and Noah thriving, that was his miracle. The girl he once rescued had become his greatest blessing. As the sun set that evening, Jake sat on his porch with Emily and Noah playing nearby. Lily came out, carrying 2 cups of coffee, her eyes soft with gratitude. "You ever think about that night?" she asked. Jake chuckled. "Every day," he said. "And I still can't believe it." She smiled. "Sometimes miracles don't fall from the sky, Jake. Sometimes, they knock on your door, asking for a place to stay."